Hi, I'm Emily here at the Whale Interpretive Center, and today we're going to be discussing chemical pollution in killer whales. If you'd like to hear this video en français, check out my coworker Audrey's video. She'll be filming the same video for us in French. So a really common question we get asked when people come into the Whale Interpretive Center is how long do killer whales live? And unfortunately this is actually fairly a complex question. And that's because it depends whether the killer whale is male or female. They're going to have vastly different age differences, and this is not a natural phenomenon. This is due to chemical pollution that is introduced to the ocean by humans. So how do these killer whales end up with chemical pollution? It's attributed to a phenomenon of bioaccumulation. And bioaccumulation is when you have an animal that's at the top of the food chain, like a killer whale, and it collects all of the toxins from each trophic level as they move their way up the food chain. This means for our mammal-eating killer whales, they're the most chemically polluted animals on the planet because they're at the very top of the food chain. And even our salmon-eating killer whales, who aren't quite as high up, they're still very chemically polluted as well. And when we talk about pollution, we're talking about things from humans. This includes things like pesticides, things like chemical runoff from factory and industry, just general pollutants that are finding their way down storm drains from roads, all kinds of stuff. And a lot of these things, including things like heavy metals that you might be more familiar with, like mercury in tuna, for example, these things accumulate in their fats and they never go away, they don't break down. This is really concerning because it means that it's really difficult to kind of fix this problem if these things never go away, never break down. And so with these animals storing these pollutants in their fats, we're going to get a wildly different toxin load dependent on male or female. And this is because the females have a way to offload these toxins through their fatty mother's milk into their calves. And so the females essentially get a detox every time that they have a calf. This of course means that the firstborn calf especially gets a huge load of toxins, and it can really cause issues for the calf. That's really been seen in those southern resident killer whales down around Victoria and Vancouver. These endangered southern resident killer whales, there's only 75 left. They have a huge toxin load, much higher than our northern residents, even though they're eating the same thing, because they're in a more populated area down around the lower mainland of British Columbia. And this has huge implications for the reproductive success. So these killer whales haven't had a successful calf that's actually lived more than a few hours or a few days in 3 years, which is very concerning for the future of this population. So then of course if females are able to offload their toxin through their mother's milk, something that males are not doing, the males accumulate it much faster, and therefore it is much more deadly for them. There's no way for them to get rid of it, it just builds up and it kills them. So some females can live quite a long time, 60, 70, even Granny was famously, a southern resident individual named Granny was famously, we believe, to be close to 100 if not over that. So they can live a long time. For male killer whales, for example, our mammal-eating killer whale, T44 or Eileen, that you may have seen on these videos or in person if you visited the center this year, he died at about age 32. So, that's a severe difference between these two. And so unfortunately when people come in and ask, well, how long do killer whales live? It's just not that easy a question to answer, and that's due to chemical pollution in killer whales.